That was very interesting. All the presentations I've heard so far have been very good, very interesting. It was a good link between Effie's presentation just then and a couple of the points I want to touch on, even though my subject is very different. So my name's Helen Waldron. I have been teaching in-company business English for 30 years. Wow. So I feel quite qualified to answer my question, which is, how do you teach business English without a business background? And the first thing that went through my mind when I read this question was that this question could only have come from another teacher, because all the time I've been teaching, not a single client has asked me what I studied and did I have a business background and did I learn marketing, did I learn sales. I'm there to be a teacher. I think they accept this. I think the question is more to do with teachers feeling a bit insecure. Nobody expects you to have a degree in business to teach English. If you do, it's a plus, but nobody would expect you, if you have a background in banking English, to only teach banking English. And in fact, a lot of my clients are working in completely different areas of work than what they studied. So it's okay to change. It's okay to do something different. We're teachers, we can learn. I'd like to move on my slide. I'll do it manually. Very good. I've worked out a very, very simple 4-point plan. Number one, you walk tall. This really overlaps with a lot of what Effie has already said. You listen to your students, you learn some business as you go along, and you see that you are actually in business, because EFL is a business too. So, you walk tall. You're a trained, experienced English teacher capable of learning new skills, and there is a reason you've been offered the work in business. As Effie has said, teaching is a performing job. You have to walk out there, be confident, you have to be honest. Be careful about being perhaps too honest. My experiences with adult students, they're more interested in their own gaps in English than worrying about me. So don't be too confessional. You need to find your personality within your role. It is a little bit different whether you're teaching children, obviously, or teaching business people, but find a position that's right for you. And do remember that you are there to teach your students English. You're not there to teach them their jobs, and they wouldn't want you to. So the key words here are credibility or quality. If there's a problem, I think it has other reasons. Okay, number two, you listen to your students, find out what they really need. What is business English for a start? Find out exactly what they do. If they're still studying, find out what they've been studying. Don't try to tell them what you've read in the latest coursework. Let them explain your job, and you're in a wonderful position to learn from them. Let them show you their workplace. Let them bring materials to the lesson, if this is possible, if they're already working. It's a fantastic resource for you. You make their work the centre of your lesson. At the same time, it's very different from other types of teaching. You always have to make compromises, but you have to make different compromises. You have to accept, this is really, really hard, but you have to accept that you are a lower priority than their work. If you're working in company, the chances are you can't threaten them with throwing them out of the course or whatever. You have to make it clear you're the teacher, you have to get there and instill good discipline into the class. But you have to also accept that the boss will sometimes say, hey, emergency meeting, you can't go. The other tough part is you're not the boss of the lesson. You have to also make linguistic compromises. You have to accept language usage that is not English for you, perhaps. I've come across phrases where I think, well, I understand exactly the opposite by that, but if it's an in-company usage, or a field usage, and the business partner understands what's meant, you have to accept that. So again, you're finding your middle way, you're finding your position within this situation. You also have to be aware some secretaries, for example, do need conservative traditional English writing. And the next point is that you have to listen to the other stakeholders too. It's not just you and your students. You might have the perfect lesson, everybody's happy, but human resources may have had other ideas. The line manager who pays for the courses may be looking for something else. If you work for a language school, the directories or whoever may well have promised something else. So listen, find out, plot your middle course. I think business is a compromise, and business English is also negotiating your way. Now, your big advantage, of course, is you are in a primary position to learn some business. You're either working with business students who apparently have the latest theories, or you're actually working in the field with professionals who can show you what's happening. So you specialise and make sure people know about your specialisation, get paid. Don't forget you can charge according to the course and the services you're offering, not just for the hour. Okay, so if you are an in-company business trainer like me, you can use your position to research fields from the inside. I'm amazed what people show me and tell me, to be honest. Of course, you shouldn't share, divulge internal information. At the same time, I'm amazed about the information my students share and divulge with me. At the same time as finding out what's going on inside your companies, you need to research skills from the outside too, to get the balance. This is your continuous professional development. Here, use specialist literature. Of course, we have the internet. It's the best free resource ever. Use specialist literature. As I said, you can use specialist ELT literature. I'm sorry, we're bashing course books yet again, but I don't recommend normal standard course books because they're very, very general about some imaginary standardized company. You can, however, learn a lot about, let's say, presentation skills from a book which deals only with presentation skills. Don't limit yourselves to ELT resources. Obviously, there's lots online. There's magazines like the Harvard Business Review, very interesting. You don't have to agree with everything, but it's good to see what's being written. There are lots of good LinkedIn resources being shared. There are, of course, free webinars like today's. My favorite source of material has always been good Facebook groups. There are a lot of very good Facebook groups where you can share your own experience. If you join, people are willing to help you. If you have a day where you say, I haven't a clue what to do with this class, what can you do? People will share their resources. It's great. Okay, you are in company, so tell people what you've learned. Tell people what you're doing. Market yourself. This is difficult for teachers, perhaps. We're not used to selling ourselves. In the chat box before Effie's talk, people were mentioning how teachers are sensitive. We have to do a business. If you get the chance, oh, no, not already, make suggestions for a new seminar. Ask for introductions within the field. Specialize, find your niche, brand yourself. I'm rushing through, but notice I'm using business language now. And very important, document everything. So write things down. We are linguists. Our skill is putting actions into words. On the one hand, this looks great on your CV. It's a good thing to give lots of papers to your clients, even if they don't want to read it. They normally like it. Something that makes you aware of what you're doing. And I think we need that a lot. And don't forget to get good reviews from the students. The last point, research your own business very, very quickly. ELT is a big, big business. You're part of business. Why should you not have a business background? I've finished. Thank you very much.